Say, man, you're in a privileged position right now. You're in a place to be. Matter of fact, a place to G with the one and only S&OOP. So what you gonna do now? Turn that shit up and let it bang.
Everybody that you fight is not your enemy.
Trenches.
And everybody that helps you is not your friend.
Free time. Nico Trenches, we train
And
online
that's
the
what
lead
life
line. Getting sacks on quarterbacks, you know we live. When you shoot that 45, you can nose on the inside. Better punch something, keep your feet moving, dog. My 3 10 and 1 10 is a real hard. My DN 6'5", he ain't got no flaws. Good grades, good feet, man, he got it all. I said a crazy he'll snatch something. Real aggressive jump, said he trying to grab something. If the old don't shoot their hands, you better jab some. You better stab some.
I'm here with the winner, Derek Lewis. Derek, why
From
don't
the
you take your
youth to the
pants off?
pros, we get it in.
Balls are hot.
If you ain't watching film, you ain't
I
trying to
understand.
win. If he close the beat gap, then you gotta spin. If you get around the edge, then you gotta bend. I'm in the trenches where the lineman at. I'm in the trenches where the lineman at. I'm in the trenches where the lineman at. Where the lineman at? Where the lineman at? D tackle, do your dance. D ends, do your dance. Center, do your dance. Guard, do your dance. Tackle, do your dance. I'm in the trenches where the lineman at. I'm in the trenches where the lineman at.
Fucking bet against me. Bet against me. Tell me it's not gonna happen. Tell me it's gonna fail. I love it. I love every minute of it.
Welcome, everybody, to the Bushleague Sports Fantasy Football Draft, host on the Sleeper app. This is the last of 6 drafts with my co-host, Trav, No Sleep from Shredding Sassy. We got Jacoby, Team Pro Sleep, joining us today as well. And we're going to be getting into a 12-man draft on the Sleeper app. I'm going to bring the boys up right away. May as well get bantering with them quick. I'm always just yapping by myself, but I've been yapping for days. So say hi to the boys, see what's going on. How you doing, fellas? What's happening today, baby?
What's going on, brother? Doing good, man. Happy Sunday. 6 drafts all in one weekend. You must be Superman because you're going all day, bud.
It's a little different this year because I wasn't in all of them. I guess just hosting them all. I was in the Bushleague one and then doing the hosting for it. So it's actually it's kind of been pretty fun because when I'm not in the draft, I can actually like banter and chat the whole time. You did them with me last year, and it's like. It's a little bit hard to focus when I'm drafting and when I'm doing the show at the same time. So this year, it's a little different, and I've been loving it.
Yeah, that's.
How you guys? How you liking your team, man?
Drafts.
Pardon? One at a time. Pardon?
Go for it, Sleep.
I said, how do you like in your team that you picked up in the Bush League draft?
I'm solid. Probably going to be getting quite a few high scores, leading my team to a championship. I don't see how that wouldn't be the case. Amon St. Brown, he's my guy, so I've been leaning on him this year for sure. I'm going to pull up the draft board here as well, so the folks can see we're doing the draft this year on Sleeper. We've done all the drafts on Sleeper. Easily my favorite app to be doing any of this stuff on. It's the most interactive, the easiest to use. So big shouts to Sleeper with what they have going on. It's very easy for a commissioner to update it, do all the things there. So just loving it. But if you're looking to be drafting your fantasy league this year, hopefully we'll be able to give you a few tips, help you dial in, and get you locked into Sleeper because it is far and away the best fantasy app there. So far this season, I've seen it's been one of two things. It's either been Christian McCaffrey going number 1 overall or Tyreek Hill going number 1 overall. I haven't seen any variance from that so far this year. We'll see if that changes today at all, but I think those kind of seem to be the top 2 picks for everybody.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey seems like, a shoe-in anywhere. Whoever picked Tyreek, I get it. Tyreek is he's an animal, right? He just doesn't stop. The guy's out of control. I expect big things out of Miami again this year. It's going to be an interesting season for sure. But yeah, Christian McCaffrey, number one all day. If I had the number one pick, that's for sure who I would be picking.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe some people they think they might have the curse. A lot of times, number one overall running back seems to get injured. Sometimes I know that happened with Chubb, and there's been a few guys that dropped pretty quick when Derrick Henry, the year he was like a first overall pick, he ended up injured. So maybe people are scared of the curse.
Who's on the Madden cover?
This year, I don't know. I could not tell you actually who's on the Madden cover this year.
Jacoby, come and save the day. Who's on the Madden cover?
I'm not sure. I think it's CMC. But
I do too.
Christian McCaffrey?
Yeah, it's McCaffrey. It is the glass cannon McCaffrey.
So it is the Madden curse potentially there. That
double
is
curse.
Yeah, that's he's I hate to say it, I don't want to curse a guy, wish him the best of health, but we might be in trouble in fantasy land if he took Christian McCaffrey first overall. I didn't even realize he was a Madden cover guy, but I don't think the Madden cover guys ever made it past week 6. That's just a made up stat that I just made up, but
Dude, I believe it. I believe it.
So should we get this rolling and we'll banter as we go? Should we kick her off?
Let's do it.
Krypton going first. Look at you come in here. There's red beside every guy. The 4 of the 5 top guys are questionable. Did not report. CD Lamb might quit. Who knows what's going on?
Here we go.
All right, here we go.
Off, baby. But again, thank you guys for joining. And so what we got going on this year is these 6 different communities all got a 12-man league. They're all playing for some prizes of their own. I know the Shredding Sassy League, we got a Shredding Sassy hoodie, a Shredding Sassy social club membership for first place. We got some Pit Vipers for second and a Shredding Sassy shirt for third. So a few prizes for everybody that joins that. And then there's going to be all kinds of prizes throughout the year, a weekly high score for the tournament. We got probably $3,000 worth of prizes throughout the year. I'll go through some of them. And then the winning community is going to take home basically a digital membership from every community involved. The idea is get to know these communities and either you're going to win and you're going to be onboarded to all the other communities, or if they lose, they're bringing in some new members. And a lot of the idea of what I want to do with this fantasy sports league is, help projects, businesses get to know each other, see each other, and just grow the world of Web3 and fantasy sports at the same time. So I thank you guys for joining.
There you go, man. He auto-picked, but he set his lineup in advance, Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. So we are 3 CMCs, 3 Tyreek Hills, 50-50 right across the board in the 6 Bushleague drafts this year. I also did see Justin Jefferson go second in the draft, and then just the last one I did. So CMC actually ended up going third, which that was a bit different too. Justin Jefferson, I mean, they lost their rookie quarterback for the season, right? And they're playing the backup, and we'll see. We'll see, because we've seen him do his thing before, and it ain't that great. We've seen Justin Jefferson be successful, though, with or without, but it's going to be tough with Sam Darnold, I truly think. So I've been leaning more towards Tyreek Hill, Amon St. Brown, maybe Jamar Chase. Obviously, CD Lamb is a big choice this year. That is the worst pick I've ever seen at second.
Hey, whoa! Leave the guy alone. Leave the guy alone. He's a Dutch.
People while they watch the show, and you don't do that. If you're drafting in a 1 quarterback league, do not spend your second pick on Mahomes. We love you, Snake Roll. That was a bad pick. Could have had McCaffrey, could have had anybody. See, and the reason I say that is because one of the things, like in fantasy sports, there's usually quite often maybe 1, 2 quarterbacks that end up kind of standing alone and being the dude. And it's basically statistically proven. I don't know if I said that word right. I probably stuttered it out. But the 3rd to 15th quarterback are often separated by 20, 30, 40 points, like an average of 2.5, 3 points a week. So to me, I always like waiting a little later to try and get a quarterback, because I just think that you can get so much talent. Those top wide receivers and those top running backs are far and away, they are miles ahead usually of the 15th place guy, whereas a quarterback, not so much. But I think it's a little crazy to take a quarterback anywhere in the first 2 rounds. I think it's crazy in a single quarterback league, personally.
Tyrone, with the auto drafts here, how quickly does it, if a person doesn't show up to a draft with Sleeper, how quickly does it realize that person is in auto draft mode and start just firing for them?
One pick. So you can see those two guys that didn't make their pick, it threw them into auto. So when it comes back to them, it's just going to snap it off now.
Gotcha. Snapping them off, huh?
Yeah, as soon as you miss one pick, it does that. So even if you're there and you run the clock out to a minute, you actually got to pay attention and turn yourself off of auto draft, or it's literally going to just skip through your next pick. So usually I try to remind guys of that if I notice that they're, because in Sleeper you can see who's in the draft. Those little green dots beside their name let you know that person's actually active and in the draft. But this might be the fastest draft we do. It's looking like we might have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5, 6 people that are auto drafting. So that'll get it moving fast. But I mean, for Snaker Roll to take Patrick Mahomes first, he had to have set that queue himself, I would guess. I don't see any way that that Sleeper would give someone that as their second pick.
I'm pretty. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm wondering if he might have had Tyreek Hill as number 1, assuming Hill wouldn't be picked first, and then Mahomes would come around in the second round to him.
That could be potentially
it's possible.
It is. I'll give you that. That could be a potential. Thinking CMC is going to go first here. I personally would have set 2 or 3 players and then Mahomes, but that's just me. I know we had someone who set their queue. They set like 30 really good players and then started adding the defenses. Halfway through the second round, all 30 of those players were gone, and it auto drafted them a defense in the third round. So when you set your queue, you kind of got to you got to go really deep. Like you almost got to re-rank the players and make your own setting. That's one thing that I don't think Sleeper has. One or two of my friends mentioned it, where you can set your own queue that would go for all the drafts. That might be something that would be cool to see them push as an update, because if you're doing 7, 8, 9 drafts, like some of us are, setting that every time can be a little annoying. So being able to just go set it once and run it would be great. But everybody that's tuning in, I see we got some people watching here. Please feel free to throw a comment, ask us any fantasy questions you got. We'll dial you in as the show goes on, and give it a like, a share, tell a friend. We'd be stoked.
So Tyrone, man, I wanted to get your take on where Marvin Harrison Jr.'s been in the drafts over the last 2 days that you've been doing. I thought that him coming off the board, ADP of about 15, I thought that was pretty wild.
Yeah, I think the last draft I did was the latest I seen him go, which was about pick 7th of the second round, 19th or 20th. He's been going, I would say, in the first half of the second round everywhere. Makes sense to me. He's the most highly touted prospect that isn't a quarterback to come into the league in a long time. He's surefire number 1. And if Kyler Murray gets back to Kyler Murray status, we've seen what he's done with DeAndre Hopkins in the past, or guys like that. So I think he's going to be electric. And maybe I'm biased because I have him in my dynasty league, same as Amon-Ra St. Brown. Those are my 2 guys in the Bushleague dynasty league. So I'm probably super biased on it, but I got big hopes for Marvin Harrison coming in as the wide right 1 in Arizona this year. We'll see where he goes this year, but that's round 1. So who'd you get? You got pro sleep with Amon-Ra St. Brown, legendary move. No sleep with Jamar Chase. Those are good picks.
So I want to go back and what we're trying. Well, hold on. You got to. So this is actually pissing me off that you're reacting this way, and it's pissing me off because we have people in these communities. These communities are worldwide, right? The Shredding Sassy is an action sports brand building, and we're bringing people to fantasy sports. We're bringing people to fantasy football. The Snake Roll is Dutch. Most Too Good is from England. Dom is from Montreal, not a huge football fan as far as I know. So, they just don't have the background. They haven't been playing fantasy football for years. They haven't been watching football for years. So really jumping into it, I think we got to give them some grace through this period and try to coach them as we move through the season. You're horrible. You're horrible.
I think the best way to learn is to learn, to be told and to find out. We got people watching. We can't let 54 people think that you go into a draft taking Patrick Mahomes or Allen. But again, no shade. They got great guys, and nobody's beacon anybody. I just think it's a bit crazy to be taking a quarterback that early personally.
He's on auto draft. He only picked quarterbacks. He just took another one. Is it my pick right now? No, it's HT.
So you want me to just like tell him great pick, awesome job?
No, I don't want you to tell them great pick, awesome job. I want it to be a learning opportunity where you're not crushing these guys so they don't come back and play to get better. You know what I mean? We want them to keep playing. We want it to grow. Maybe we want to do 2 Sassy leagues, but if the Sassy team members are up here trashing their picks, you know, it might not be a good move. You know what I mean? It might be something that you just want to make a learning experience.
That's fair. It'll make it easy for my community to win the tournament. Obviously, you guys were the biggest threat, so this will just make it a little easier for us this year. That's all. But he must have the Q set. He must have picked a few quarterbacks or something there because he's got two of the. I would say he's got the 2 best quarterbacks possible on his roster. So he may be seeking a trade out after the draft.
That's what Mir Frank just said. He said, "I'll be trading with Most Too Good."
Yeah, I wonder if Mo's awake right now. I just pinged him. I was like, dude, you just drafted 2 QBs. Turn off the queue. See what happens though.
But I know there is a few guys over in Europe. So again, I love onboarding new guys. That's oh boy, whatever. I'll be quiet.
Yeah, so I'm just like with that. This kid just doesn't know. You know what I mean? He doesn't know. He's out there trying. He's in wherever he's at. I don't even know where he's at. Do you know where he's at, Jacoby?
I'm not sure, but he did play with us last year, so it's not completely blind with what he's doing right now. But I think the queue, he just didn't put it just to make it deep enough. So hopefully his queue runs out pretty quick, and then we'll just go to best pick for the rest of the way in there.
Yeah, that's the beauty of auto drafting, I suppose. The way she goes. But again, like you said, some guys are in Europe, probably their first or second fantasy football league. They'll be napping it at this hour. But for anyone watching, I just, I'm here to educate people too, because some people are watching, they want to be drafting and learning how to win championships. And I personally would never take a quarterback in a 2 QB, like I was saying, in the first 2 rounds. I would wait in a single QB. I would wait until maybe the 3rd round or so to take a guy like Mahomes or Allen or Jackson myself personally. But I'm definitely waiting a while.
I completely agree.
There's a couple good ones, though. At least he followed it up with Laporta. That's a solid pick, especially slipping back a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna take either Laporta or Kelsey, but those auto drafts just kind of messed up my little plan there. So we're gonna go ahead and
Laporta, though, like I've seen Laporta go in the 2nd round, and really nothing against that. I actually think tight ends are, now you're getting into receivers like Evans is still good, but once you start getting to Nico Collins, guys like that, I honestly would prefer taking Sam Laporta or Travis Kelce ahead of one of those guys.
All right, Mo is replying in Discord, and we got a FFS from him, and he thought it did it based off selection position, not queue position. So I'm not sure what he's even thinking there, but he's awake now. So
I don't know what that means, but we'll give it to him. But he got Laporta, and he's got some trade capital. He's just probably going to lose a little bit because nobody's going to pay him more than what he paid in the 2nd round there. But I think that you can't really complain about it, and at least if someone will make him a trade, maybe Most Too Good will trade Taylor for Allen or something like that. But I'm guessing Mir Frank, I can tell he's a bit of a seasoned vet. He might be just out like me to just try and get the best deal for himself. That's how I play fantasy football. I always tell everybody I'm helping you, but I'm never helping them.
Dude,
I'm just helping me.
So Mir Frank, I pulled out of retirement to play with us. He told me that he had to quit fantasy football because he was just way too deep into it, doing spreadsheets and like hard analysis, and it was his life. And so I pulled him out of retirement. So he's definitely going to be a good player for us this year.
Love to see it.
I love his roster right now. He's got Breece Hall, Taylor, Debo, and Cooper Kupp. Man, he's looking good there, sitting with the 12th draft pick.
Yeah, Breece Hall. It's been interesting to see so many of the Jets guys going as early as they did. This is actually the first time I think that the both Jets guys didn't get drafted in the first round. So it's been interesting to see because we see Rodgers going in like the 13th or 14th round, and I'm always intrigued when a team has 2 or 3 guys going in the top couple rounds, and then the quarterback's going like 13th. It's like, well, how do you think they're going to get the ball? I'm pretty sure that's the guy that has to give it to them. So I'm always intrigued by that.
I'm interested what Jacoby's going to do here. Is he going to go? He's going Richardson QB right now. That's what he's doing.
No, I'm not doing how much time. I don't even see my.
That's what I would do if I was you. Take Richardson. No, I'm kidding. What do you got? You got Devontae Adams there. That's a oh boy, Justin. Oh boy, that's okay. Most too good. I love you, but whew, I don't know. That is the 49ers and Tucker. That's got to be the 2 worst picks I've seen so far that early. And in my league, one of the people, like I said, same thing Q said, took the Cowboys in the 3rd round. But she took it like 3-9. So I think Snake Roll with the 49ers in round 3 might be like the pick of the draft so far of the tourney. But
most definitely.
It's all been on auto draft, so we'll give them all the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure they would have been making different picks if they were there.
Talk to me about Ayuk, man. Is he going to be playing this year? Is he, what's going on?
Lots of draft. I think he's staying put right where he is. I don't think he's going anywhere. Like, I think he's 49er. I know, again, selfishly, and you as a Steelers fan, we're probably hoping that trade might happen.
Oh, man.
Me, in Dynasty, I have Debo and Ayuk, so I was kind of like, split him up. It'll be fine by me. He'll be wide right 1 over in Pittsburgh, but he's also going to end up catching passes from if it's Russ Wilson, horrible. If it's Justin Field, I think it'll actually be okay. You've seen Justin Field get DJ Moore into a top 5-6 spot as a fantasy back. And I mean, I think Ayuk's really, really good. So it's just good to me. I like to see the band stay together. I mean, the 49ers were 1 play away from winning a Super Bowl. So it's good, I think, to keep the team together.
I like that Tank Dell pick there, Tilted. I'm super interested in how this auto draft is working for people. I don't get it. I don't even get how you can set up your auto draft to do that. Just draft this way. There's got to be like controls in place for auto draft not to allow this to happen.
I can turn it on and manually give them the best player if it keeps being horrible. I can definitely just give them the top player in the queue potentially, but.
Yeah, I'm not saying do that. I don't know. This is just strange.
They'll swap around later. I'm not super worried about it. I do like Snake Roll's Bowers pick though. I think he's going to have a good year. Maybe a little high for the draft, but that's a solid tight end, I think.
He's got 2 defense. That's interesting.
What the?
That noise.
Yeah. Same thing for both of them.
Yeah, I think Sleeper might need to fix their auto draft. I mean, because I'm starting to doubt that they are putting those guys all in the queue.
Right?
We'll see what. Like, honestly, if it comes back and soaks them again, I might just switch it where I just give them the best player on the board because they're good. Literally going to not have a team. But that's the joys of her. But I almost need to start a league, just like a 4-person league, get you guys to join. I'll set a queue and just let it draft and see what happens so that I can learn and give them some feedback or something. Because I just find it hard to believe anybody set a queue that looks like that.
Yeah, I'm in. If they did, they were sticking strictly to your requirements of. Or not your requirements, what they see Sleeper's requirements are: 1 quarterback, 2 receivers, 2 running backs, whatever the basic requirements are. So they might have did their order like that. Like, okay, I picked my 1 quarterback, I picked my 2, whatever. I picked my 2 running backs. So again, it's an education standpoint. Like, I should have done a better job of talking with them and helping them understand the league.
Well, and I think it'll be good to just ask them what they did after so we can get, because I know Melly said, she's like, I don't think because it gave her 2 defenses, and she's like, I'm pretty sure, certain I only put 1 defense in the queue. So maybe Sleeper's just acting up. But again, Sleeper is as far as I'm concerned, the greatest app to draft on. But if it's doing that with auto draft, I think that needs to be fixed and addressed.
So I agree. Sleeper is the greatest fantasy football app I've ever used. Actually, my other league, my neighborhood league right now, they were petitioning on transferring to ESPN. However, just Sleeper's interfaces, I think, are a lot easier to use than ESPN's. And we actually had a vote to switch to ESPN, and it was 6-6. And the champion from last year got to pick, and he picked to stay with Sleeper. So I'm happy to still be here.
What?
Well,
I'm glad that worked out for you.
The one thing too is like I know some of them are, you know, people might just have a preference for whatever reason. I think they're all fairly similar to a point for the players, but it's as a commissioner, the options and the just how easy they make it to run a league or to set up a keeper league or things like that. It's far and away significantly better than ESPN or Yahoo, in my humble opinion. I still run all my hockey leagues on Yahoo, and I actually did a draft last night on Yahoo with Ryan Spooner, the president and CEO of Yahoo Sports. So who knows? Maybe maybe if they want to sign me, I'll give up Sleeper and go over there. But for now, I'm a Sleeper kid.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
But it was interesting. Some of us got into a league with him through VCon, so it's kind of cool.
Hey, are you still looking for anybody in your hockey league?
So I was chatting with the boys about, because we have it used to be a 14-team league, and then we had a couple guys leave, and it's 12-team league. So I was chatting with them about doing an expansion this year because I would love to get you into it, and I got one other buddy who would probably play as well. So the discussion has started about doing an expansion draft. So just we would give you like the first, the two new teams, the first 4 picks each kind of thing or whatever.
Oh, wow.
But you would, well, we keep 4 each. So you guys would kind of be started at a disadvantage because the top 40, 50 players are going to be off the board. But usually when we do an expansion, then, you guys, it would have been great to do an expansion last year on the Bedard rookie season. But when we do an expansion, we would, let you guys have the first, let you catch up, have your 4 picks, and then probably even give you the 5th and pick first kind of thing. But that's usually how we run when we do expansion. But the talks are in, and I'll be trying to get you into that league for sure.
So what are you thinking on so we're moving through right now. I see that Most Too Good's commenting. I don't know where these comments are coming in. Jacoby, are you keeping track of all the comments?
I mean, if he's commenting, why doesn't he just draft?
So he just got a 3rd defense. Can you even draft 3 defenses? Snack roll did.
Yeah, you can.
You can, but yeah, that's bad. I don't know what it's doing. I feel sorry for them, honestly. I think we're going to swap it so that does not happen. Give me a second. I'm going to pause the draft for 2 shakes because this auto pick it's unfair.
No, good call, man. Good call. I agree. I think this is something that, they should learn from. It sucks and they're going to have to deal with it. And then the Sassy team will probably have to deal with it overall. But, we'll see how it goes.
And I put the best player that was sitting on top up there, Christian Kirk. So I'm going to be in control now of the picks, but all I'm going to do is just give them the top available guy because it is absolutely hosing them when it becomes their pick. So as soon as it gets to their pick, I'll swap that out.
So Mo says he did set a queue and he didn't realize it was going in order of his ads rather than position. So Mo just
I don't even know what that means to hear it be said. But he thought it was going to go in the order of which, sorry?
Position. So I think he thought it was going to take a quarterback, then take a receiver, then take a running back.
Is this his first draft ever?
It is.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
no,
it is. It's not.
He played last year.
Where?
In Long Lost.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure he did, yeah.
Well, whatever. Okay, hold on. I got it. Now I'm going to be over here, though, doing this now. It'll take my attention off. You guys will have to help carry the conversation because I'll be clicking buttons here. So
if you look at these other auto drafts, they look like they're taking best available. So
you picked for – gotcha.
You can see what I'm doing in the bottom of the screen. Hey, I'm in a different screen, but can you see what I'm doing? Does it show you what I'm?
Yeah, it's saying commissioner forced pick. Now, can we choose you only force pick for most too good and snake roll, and everybody else just uses their whatever auto they have in place? Is that possible?
No, well, I guess we'll see. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'll click let CPU auto pick on them instead of set player. Whether that does what it's doing already or whether it takes the top of their queue, I don't know, but I can definitely do that.
So it looks like Dom's picking okay, Frost King's picking okay. They're on auto. Most too good and Snaker Roll are the two that are going to need some help.
Yeah, I'll just keep giving them best available because, I mean, most doesn't even have a lineup yet. And for anyone joining us, so we're doing our 12-man league with the Shredding Sassy community here, hosted on Sleeper app. We got a couple queues that were set wildly, so I'm just trying to be a generous commissioner and not let them have a team full of defenses. We're not going to handpick anybody for them. We're just going to give them top of the board. But again, it's nice that I have that option. Just one click, I can do it. So it's even if it is piling it up a little bit, it seems at least we can save a little face for them.
Yeah, shout out Sleeper for having that functionality, right?
Yeah.
Dude, we're going to be done with this draft in an hour.
Yeah, no, it'll be fast with 4 or 5. That having 4 or 5 guys on auto draft probably saves about 10 minutes a guy. So 30, 40 minutes, it'll probably shave off the draft time.
So I have my second draft on Thursday.
Nice.
And I just found out my son's got a hockey game and my daughter's got a volleyball game same day. So
setting the queue.
I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah. I mean, it's Sleeper now, so I got to be careful on how I set my queue, right?
Judging by this, yeah. But I know Jacoby just said too good, just said that's kind of how he set his queue. So maybe it's really not Sleeper.
Yeah.
Because like you said, Frost King and Dom, they got pretty good teams in essence.
Dom's got a lot of wide receivers, but
no, that's good, man. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he does. You're right. You're right.
But he's stacked like Lamb, Harrison, and Evans. You're starting them every single week, so that's no complaints there for sure. I'd maybe tried to get rid of Malik Neighbors and get a running back in there because myself, I like to build my team and have probably 3-4 running backs and wide receivers and I'm always going to take kicker defense last 2 picks and quarterback this year. Really, I'm leaning more 9th, 10th round before I'm getting my hand on a quarterback in a single quarterback league for the most part. Who do you guys think? Do you guys have anyone you think is going to be like a breakout guy this year who didn't do that good last year? Any names that come to the tip of your tongues? The guys who finished top 10 that were outside top 20 last year?
I don't know about Aaron Rodgers pick. Okay.
Aaron Rodgers went a lot.
Caleb Williams. There we go.
Than I thought.
I got to be ready here. I was going to say overall, I'd like to see more out of Pat Freiermuth in Pittsburgh. Obviously, being a bit of a Steelers fan, I think that I got to stay on the ball here. These are going quick. Get to me, and I'm in a monologue, and I miss my pick.
That's the hard part when you're drafted doing the show and chatting at the same time. That's why I'm kind of like, it's okay that I'm not in the draft. I can just kind of sit back and hang out and chat and talk your guys' ear off. Maybe try to throw your game off a bit. You guys are the 2 studs on the team. If I can throw you guys off, it'll give my community a better chance to take this tournament home. So, but Snake Roll, most too good. You gotta love Sleep. He was defending you while I was giving you the gears. Now I'm out here saving your ass too. Send a hug in the mail.
I was gonna say, who do you want at quarterback for the Steelers there, Sleep? You guys still don't know who's starting, right?
So I've been following training camp, on X, and man, everything about training camp said that man, I'm just losing the Fields was going to be the starter. And then, he's looked lackluster in the games. He had some a decent couple of drives yesterday, or I guess, today's Sunday, yesterday. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I don't know. I have no idea. I was a lot more confident. I mean, it's just preseason, but I was a lot more confident, 3 weeks ago than I am today.
Oh, Javonte Williams, that's the pick of the draft right there. Do we give him
I
another?
don't know. We got snake roll. Just give him best available.
Yeah. I just don't want to best available him, and he doesn't have a running back. But
Well,
so we might have,
sleeper. Will sleeper fill out the roster if it gets down to the last pick and like you're missing a position? Will it pick that position?
So ESPN, and I noticed this year too. Yahoo used to force you into like, okay, now you can only pick a kicker or defense the last 2 picks if you don't have one. Sleeper doesn't do that. You can draft it out how you want. And I actually noticed Yahoo pushed an update too where you can just draft whatever you want and do it after. One thing too is there's a couple IR spots too. So I'm usually a fan of taking a flyer on those guys that are starting the year on the PUP or the IR, because as soon as the draft's over, you can tuck them on IR, pick up another guy. So like I know in my draft, I don't want to give away too many secrets, but I loaded up Chubb and Hollywood Brown. As soon as the draft was over, I put him on IR, then picked up my kicker and defense. So that's I was able to just stack my team because I didn't even draft a kicker or defense. I just have 2 studs sitting in the wave. So maybe not.
When's Chubb due back? When's Chubb due back? Is he going to be ready?
He'll be out 4 or 5 weeks. That's why you get to start him on the IR. But he literally is a first overall pick if he's Nick Chubb. So I mean, if you can get that guy late, tuck him on IR for 4, 5, 6 weeks, and then all of a sudden you have a guy who you should have picked in the first round. Pretty amazing. So I'll do that if I know there's an IR in leagues. I'll take a flyer on a guy like Chubb or that, because you have a place to stash him. He's literally not even wasting a roster spot, and he's better than all of the running backs in the league when he's healthy.
Lad McConkey, that's a pick, Sleep.
I think
I was trying to push him in the Chubb direction, but he didn't go for it.
You did. I'm hoping that he's going to be still around, but he's not likely due to the auto drafts.
There's Hollywood Brown going there. Well, so this just means that he's going to go right here because he's on the top of the chart. So
he should get him. Most too good doesn't even have a running back right now.
No, so he might get a late stash. He might seem like a genius when this is all over.
Let's see.
But we got to give him some actual playing running back. So like that's dust. But anyways, I was saying some running back or some quarterbacks I think that, finish outside the top 20 that we might see the resurgence this year. 2 names that come to mind for me are, again, Kyler Murray. I know we chatted about him with Marvin Harris, and Deshaun Watson. I think those are 2 guys that we might see in the top 10 this year that are going pretty late in drafts. So for myself, those are definitely 2 ways I'm leaning.
What's the word on TJ Hawkinson?
I think he's also PUP. He'll be out.
First 4 weeks.
I don't know if he's PUP yet, but if he goes to PUP, he'll be out for 4 weeks. But he's definitely out for a couple weeks. But he's a great tight end. He would be a good stash to get a little later. Oh, Jerome Ford. I was going to try to maybe give most too good Jerome Ford, but Ralph lynched him.
I didn't see Ford there. You must have been a little further down the board.
Yeah, I think Buddy just sniped the guy on auto pick. Just no mercy. You think I'm bad harassing him? Your own guys are just screwing your team out of a starter. Brian Thomas, rookie. He was looking good in the preseason this year for sure. He's got a lot of hype going around him at the moment. He's got his team pretty well filled out too, Mir there. So he's on a run. He's got it locked.
Do you have to draft a defense?
So like I was saying,
you were just saying earlier that you don't.
Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, you're going to have to pick one up before week 1. But if you draft a guy that's IR eligible, as soon as the draft wraps up, you can do it. But no, you can in Sleeper, you can draft, just players if you want. maybe you wait for an injury, or maybe you end up having to drop a guy to pick up that defense week 1, but you can 100% skip it. And for me, I usually always do. I usually always skip it if I'm drafting a week or 2 out, and then try to see if I can tuck someone on the IR or make a deal and then fill my defense in.
It's really
Hawkins
funny.
must be. He must be watching.
Take him.
He's listening to us. He's listening to us.
He's 100% listening to us. He's taken all the sneaky ones that we're talking about. I think I talked about Nick Chubb. He grabs him. You talk about Hawkinson. He grabs him.
All right, I know who I want to.
What's funny is talk about defenses. I actually, in my draft earlier tonight, I actually took 2 defenses. Sometimes I do that just because there's only so many like good defenses, so I'll try to stack them and I'll hold them throughout the season and just swap them in and out. And it's definitely a different strategy. But
I always feel like every year's so much of a new year. Like it never seems like the defense that was top 3 last year is top 3 again this year. And I'll often I almost prefer not wasting, like I have nothing against that, because if you get the guys, they're good, you're going to get 10, 15 points. But I'll almost wait, take a defense, and then if they're not good, I'll just play the waiver game of like who's playing Carolina or like who's playing the worst, one of the worst 2 teams in the league. And then I'll just switch it up every week and try to pick up that team as my defense. I like playing that as well. Just prey on the vulnerable.
Can I tell you, I love Jaylen Warren right here for most too good.
I mean,
I do. Jaylen Warren's a beast, man. He's a beast out of the backfield, man. Run past threat, dude. He put up some points last year.
Hopkins or Jaylen Warren? Who are you giving him?
For me, if you just leave Jaylen Warren and let him sit around for 4 more picks, I'll pick him up. What
do you think, Pro Sleep? Who we giving him? 5 seconds.
I'm thinking whoever's top of the board.
Beautiful.
Top of the board goes to him.
Keep going. It's no Sleep. You almost gave away your guy, but you might get him. Except this might take him. Is that going to take him? Yeah, he's gone.
And there he goes.
All good. Oh, now we're on.
That's the hard part when you got.
Now we're on speed mode.
Yeah, 5 people auto drafting. You can just when your guys are going to go before they get to you.
Yeah, just because they're sitting at the top and they're disappearing. It definitely speeds up the process a little bit, though, for sure. I think in the last 3 rounds, I'll set it just back to straight. Let the computer do its thing, maybe. We'll make sure each of the guys has a starting roster at least. So Snake Roll needs a running back. And is there a running back at the top? Christian Watson. Do we give him a running back? I think we got to give him a running back. He doesn't have a starting line.
I think at this point it's fair to fill out the roster.
Yeah, I'll give him that. The top running back on the league. So he at least has a starting roster now. He's on his own. That's the way I see it. Most too good. What's he need? He's going to need a running back as well, and then he's got a starting roster. Those defenses early, though, that's going to hurt those teams bad. But what do you do? Oh, I got to do this again, don't I? Oh, boy. We should have kept giving him top player.
And all those known good defenses are going to be off the board, though.
We moved it back. We gave him a quarterback. He don't need a third defense. I'll click top guy, but I don't know what the CPU auto pick is doing. But Sleeper, if you're watching, please fix it. Please fix it, because I seem like an animal just setting people's rosters. I think for them, but man, you can't have an auto pick that's doing that to people. It's like your auto pick normally just takes the top guy, so I don't know why it's not. It's quite intriguing to me that it's doing what it's doing.
No lie, I was thinking about taking Zeke. Who knows, man? Get him down near the end zone and punch it in with Zeke. We'll see what happens in Dallas this year.
The Cowboys are going to be a good team, and there's probably a reason they brought Zeke back. I mean, they obviously like him. They brought him back to the squad, so I think that I think we're going to see like 4 years ago in the Salvation Army bucket, Zeke. That's what I'm thinking we're getting. See, when I auto pick with these guys, it gives them good players. And when I do it with most too good and stake roll, it doesn't. I think it's something they did with their queue, personally.
Mo definitely set a queue. Like he told us that. So
Yeah, and then so it's just education better on our part. If people haven't played, as running the league for myself, I need to just make
the
sure
best
they
way.
understand.
Obviously, the best way to educate them is just make sure they come back, watch the show. They'll dial in. They'll learn everything they need to know in a quick hour and a half. We do got a comment. I deleted my queue, lads. Said most too good. Okay. Optic studs. Thank you. We are very beautiful human beings. I appreciate it. Also good to see Jacoby with the Pit Vipers on. I should have thrown my pitties on. Shouts the Pit Viper legends. Obviously, get yourself a Shredding Sassy social club membership, and you can get 20% off. Pitviper.com. Let's go, baby.
Like, I feel bad. I'm staring at my phone this whole time. It's hard to draft and be on a live stream at the same time. Or I need like another computer up next to it and be drafted on the computer.
You can't I guess, do you have two browsers? Because I have mine. I just use two browsers.
And stack them. Yeah, I could for sure do that. I should have had my my other monitor set up, man. That's way.
That's something I think I need to have for when I'm doing this, because like you say, I do have to kind of like right now I can see everything, but then when I have to go do the pick, I just have to switch to the other browser. And because I'm hosting the stream, if I do this, it does that. So I can't.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I could picture it, but because I'm hosting it, I can't. But if I think that's something I might have to invest in, is a second screen, because then I can stare at this, kind of look over, do my thing. Don't worry though, most too good. We got you covered. We took care of you. It says he made that comment at 5 p.m. That was 4 hours ago. Is that real?
No, I mean, you didn't have this space set for. Did you have this space set that long ago?
No, it must be some glitch because he's across the pond. But yeah, I did. I did have it set. I set this up 5 hours ago. So he must have commented like on the, what does it say? He commented? No, it says it's commented on X though. So no, that's impossible because X doesn't do anything until I load it. YouTube makes a file as soon as I create it, but X does not. But so far, I mean, I would say nothing out of the ordinary aside from those early quarterbacks and those early defenses. But they're hoarding. They got some ability to make some trades. We're gonna have to give Too Good a running back. I don't know who is the next best running back, but should we give him Charbonnet or Chubba Hubba?
Yeah, just the first off the board was Charbonnet.
Charbonnet's a backup though. Chubba's a starter.
Is he really?
Yes. Any thoughts on that?
give him the best available.
I give him Charbonnet. We'll give him Hubba if he's still there when it comes back to him. That's what we'll do for the guy. There's a good chance he will be there. Auto pick for Frost King. Auto pick for Dom. So they both have their rosters filled out. Both those guys on auto pick. They both got 5, 6. They both got 6 receivers. They both got 4 running backs, a quarterback, and a tight end. So the auto draft did them well. They got a full roster.
And I like their rosters, man. I like their Jefferson, Wilson, Kelsey, Waddle, James Conner, man, still doing the damn thing. Richardson, that's a great roster, man.
I think Dom is fairly weak at running back, but he's got some pieces he can make a trade with. But Frost King's roster is actually like rock solid.
Yeah.
Like he's got, I mean, Jefferson, Wilson, and Waddle is rock solid. Connor and Stevenson, both underrated. I think they'll be great. That's a rock solid auto draft, honestly.
Judy's in Cleveland now. I didn't know that.
He's already got a kicker, so we're not giving him a kicker. But we are wrapping up like the 12th round here, so it is going fast.
Yeah.
We're about an hour in. We'll wrap up about an hour 10, which isn't too bad. I think we might have started a couple minutes after 8. But for anybody watching, we're 12 rounds deep in their Shredding Sassy Bush League. There's going to be 6 communities battling it out this year. So what I'll do is every week I'll take the 12 scores from all players, combine them, and that'll be the team score. I know last year we had some social media activations and stuff like that, which honestly, like at the end of the day, that would have been why our community won it, because we had more social media interactions. So I think it's going to be a little different this year. I'm hoping it keeps it way tighter, being that it's just all fantasy points. There's going to be a couple little things along the way because there is going to be a high score. So the highest scoring. Oh, I got to do this manually. You guys got to maybe remind me if I forget.
I'm sorry, man.
No, that's fine. I was just chatting and I forgot that I'm running it to try and say, the guy I was hoping would get to him went there. Let's see, CPU auto pick. Is it going to give me defense? Oh, it did. What the hell?
I'm gonna say defenses are at like the top of the list now, so maybe not.
No, he doesn't deserve that. What was I saying before I got sidetracked? I apologize.
Surprises.
Oh yeah. And Fred would watch him being like, what the hell is this guy doing? We got a couple people, like Sleep said, new to the drafting. They're overseas. It's probably like 3 a.m. for them, trying to make sure they don't just have the worst fantasy season of their life with 10 running backs or no running backs and 10 defenses on their team. So just trying to throw them a bone. We're just giving them best available in the spot. But every week there's going to be prizes. Actually, I got a stash of some of them over here. I'll bring a couple over. I'll show you guys. I didn't really get into them the other day, but 1 week someone will take home a nice Adidas Swag Me United hat. We got some OD Labs homing devices, and whoever wins these will also get an OD Labs umbrella with it. There's some V-Friends cards that's going to be going out, a mystery box of V-Friends cards. We also got this bad boy, a nice Share the Shaka minted merch. Shouts to Cat Cartel and the hubby over there. We got this nice Shaka shirt rocking. Wag Me shirt. Here's a big prize that's going out in one of the leagues. A nice Dolce & Gabbana shirt. Shouts to you and XD for hooking that up. That's quite the valuable prize. We got Gary V book.
Oh, nice.
VSP shirt, and we got a Gary V Mattel Skilled Skeleton / the Masters of the Universe Skeletor collectible. There's actually one sitting up over here. Where is it? Sitting right here, and I was probably supposed to be picking for someone right now. So.
I was letting you go, man. You were giving all the good deets on the prizes.
But every week there's going to be the highest. It's not the highest scoring person in this league. It will be the highest scoring person, like
overall
of the whole tournament.
I love that.
It's actually a sneaky pick there. And so there'll be some different little things, like you'll have to have a Bush League token, obviously, which pretty much everybody has. But like, say the prize is a Shredding Sassy shirt. The winner. It'll be, I'll have it posted. It'll be on the website. We'll post on Twitter. But say the prize that week is Shredding Sassy shirt. At the beginning of the week, one of the stipulations is going to have to be, you're going to have to be following Shredding Sassy. You're going to try to get people helping, following the other communities, sharing a little bit, spreading the love. So if you are the highest scoring team in the league and that isn't set, it's going to the next highest. So people just got to pay a little bit of attention, try to make sure they're showing the love. Because we can't just be giving away $5,000. All we're asking for is a follow. Pretty easy work. But so hopefully people will, get on board and share a little bit of love. And there's, again, like I said, about $5,000-6,000 worth of prizes all in all this year. So I hope everybody enjoys it because it is a completely free league. So shouts to all the communities involved, you guys at Shredding Sassy, Vayner Sports, Accutars, Not Okay Bears, my buddy Joel at Bam Bam's Fitness. And then a big chunk of prizes are just donated by yours truly from myself and Bush League Media. But a tournament like this doesn't happen without the communities and founders getting behind it. So thank you guys for partaking. I really appreciate it.
Dude, you're the man. Thank you. Thank you for hosting, man. It's fun. Last year I had a blast. Yeah, last year I had a blast.
And I'm glad because at the start I thought you were mad at me. I'm like, oh, fuck, Sleep's mad at me. I'm giving it to these guys. But it turns out he's just defending his team, just keeping the honor. So, you love it. You love to see it.
No way. Yeah, dude. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you hosting. Appreciate you having us. This is fun, man. As much as we're getting out here having a good time, it was learning for some, serious for others. It's gonna be perfect. So I just found the function to look at my team, and yeah, dude, it's dope, man. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident.
What's the sleep roster looking like? We'll pull her up down here. Tua, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, not bad. Jamar Chase, Brandon Ayuk, couple studs. Dallas Goedert, Joe Mixon, actually another great stud running back. Dude, Devontae Smith on the bench too. That's a stud pick. And then like I would say, all those guys are absolute studs. I would want them on any team. And then Terry McLaurin, Ladd McConkey, Trey Benson. Do you have Connor? No, but a good backup to Connor. You got your guy in Pat Frymouth.
I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping.
He kind of had a down year last year, so we'll see if he can pick his socks back up this year. And really, I mean, I'm probably sour because Russ played for the Broncos last year, and I mean, sucked. He also launched a sports drink and then rugged us all. So shouts to you, Russ Wilson, for rugging us all with your sports drink company. But hopefully Justin Fields gets the ball because Russ can get the fuck out of here, according to me.
Yeah,
and I
honestly
think the crazy part that those two are together too is like 4 years ago, the Broncos had the opportunity to draft Justin Fields, passed on it, blew up the whole defense, ruined the whole team, brought in Russ Wilson. He didn't do a damn thing for 2 years. And now him and the guy who should be at the helm in Denver still are, hanging out together in your hometown down in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, man. It's going to be, I don't know. I don't know. Again, haven't been too impressed in these preseason games, but they're preseason. We'll see what happens. Week 1's, what are we, 2 weeks away from week 1. So see how it goes.
Oh, and Otto picked him a decent guy. He must have all those defenses out of the queue now. Stafford going late to Dom there. Moody, Frostking got his kicker. So yeah, they both got just a completely full team. Now will it give them a defense in the back end? I guess we'll find out. If not, they can pick one up after, drop a guy. They'll be all right. Do we give Snake a roll? Do we try our luck again with an auto pick, or do we just give him the best?
Is it my pick right now? Shit, it's my pick.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tyler Bass. Not bad. Not bad. I'm curious to see how Buffalo is going to be able to play this year with, a lot less receiving talent around, I think. But they did get Keon Coleman, a rookie, who I think is going to be their main guy there. So hopefully they can get it running. One more auto pick. Is it going to give them a defense? Oh, it did. Crazy. It actually did what it was supposed to do for once. Auto pick, touchdowns. There we go. So snake roll. I did what I could. Got you Spears. Got you Aguilar. He's only got one actual starting running back, but hey, you never know. Maybe someone will go down, and one of these two guys will be an absolute stud muffin in no time. But at least we got him a startable roster. So, and Mo's too good. Dobbins, there's a chance he could be good. Like there's also a chance he blows his ACL again in 2 weeks, but we'll see.
The season outlook for him states, arguably no player has been handed worse injury luck than Dobbins in the last 3 years. His 2021 ended in preseason with a gruesome multi-ligament knee injury, one that lingered into 2022 season and required an all-season arthroscopic surgery. He came back, won the starting job back, then tore his Achilles in week 1 of 2023. God dang.
Yeah, it's tough.
Oh, man.
Who's it going to give most too good? Do we auto pick it or set player? What do we think? He would get Ben Simmons, or we could give him Brandon Cooks or Adam Thielen. Those are sneaky picks.
Yeah,
or do we,
sure.
Or do we just auto pick? What do we do? What do we do, boys?
Auto pick it. Let's see what happens. Roll the dice.
Let's let it auto pick. It's the last one.
If it gives him a defense, we'll remove it. Okay, Ben Sinnott, give him the see. Now it's giving them the top guy off the board. Interesting. Well, that was a good draft, gentlemen, and obviously I look forward to seeing you guys out on the battlefield. September 1st, I'll push an update on the website. So then you guys will be able to see every week who we were playing. I'll obviously be posting it on Twitter, sharing it on socials, but it will be head to head against a different community every week. So, make sure you get out there and beat them. I'm a big fan of beating everybody, as you can tell. So, make sure if you guys want to score some bonus points, just tell the other team how much they suck. And I'm sure that'll motivate them a little.
Hey, what's the waiver wire situation this year? Since last year we had the foul points, is it just free for all or
for which? Sorry,
should be order, right?
No, I don't usually run waiver order. I run fab budget, and so we're running the fab budget again this year. It's the same thing we had last year, I think. Or did we have rolling orders last year?
No, it was fab budget. But how do you earn fab this year?
Oh, you don't earn any fab, so none of that. Like it's just $200 each and go it. We're doing it a little different than last year because it was a little complicated. So a standard fab, you get issued $200 at the start of the season. That is your budget for the whole season. So if you spend it, you got no more. So you got to kind of budget it. That's 200 is usually the standard you give in most leagues. You can set it to whatever number you want. It's going to have the same outcome in the end. But there's no way to earn any. I have lowest bid set at 0. So if you run out of fab, you can still bid, but you're just probably not going to win if someone else bids $1 or $2. But that wraps up the 15 rounds of the sleeper draft. So I think we should take a look at no sleep and pro sleep here, see what the teams are looking like. But I think you're rock solid. I mean, I think you even got an absolute stud sitting on the bench. I know you were like, oh, fuck, you can't, quarterback's good in the first round. But I think you did it right. You got a bunch of studs in the top 7, didn't take a quarterback till quite a bit later. And I think your team's looking rock solid, honestly. You're stacked, buddy.
Dude, looking at Thielen right now, man, I kind of wish I would have picked him up a little bit later in the rounds, man. Looking at his stats from last year, he had some big games early in the season. Then he slacked off kind of a little bit later in the season. Looks like he had some targets, but not as many catches. I don't know, man. Guy's a little bit older, but if he's target heavy, it might be a good pickup for anybody, looking at, for example, Snaker Roll or Most Too Good, looking at dropping some defenses, be a good receiver to pick up.
Yeah, or just drop Lad McConkey, put him on your team.
Yeah, for sure.
Pro
100%.
sleep, what do you got going on? St. Brown, Collins, Adams, Etienne, Jones. That's also a great looking team. I'm going to give no sleep a little more pro than pro sleep. But Kyle Pitts, if he comes out and does what we hope he does, good. If not, then everybody who drafted him is insane because he's blowing it for the last 3 years. But this is, I think, like a make or break season for Kyle Pitts. He was drafted as one of the top picks a few years ago and did okay the first year, and it's just been a plummet ever since.
I went with him because of the quarterback change in Atlanta, because we've got some different talent out there. So
that's a great point. That's a great point because Kirk Cousins and Hawkinson, they were the connection. So that's alpha pro sleep, man. I love it.
Yeah, no, like I said, it could turn out to be an absolutely great pick, and he might be a top 5 guy. We just gotta hope he pulls it off. Mostert took your first quarterback a little earlier with Caleb Williams, but nothing wrong with that pick. The one thing that I look at, Nico Collins, nothing wrong with that pick, but to see you got Diggs going in the 3rd round, Nico Collins in the 3rd round, Tank Dell in the 5th round. I think CJ Stroud is good, but I don't think he's feeding 3 receivers all season. So someone coming out of that group is going to be sad, in my humble opinion. I don't know who it's going to be.
Dell's going to be the sad one.
That's fair. That's what you got to hope, right?
So where did you, man, I like Pitts. I like that pick. What was he for tight end off the board?
He was, let's see if I can get rid of that. He was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He was 7th off the board. No, there's 2 guys over here. 8, 9. He was 9th off the board. 9th.
Wow.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, I was surprised he was still there. I was waiting for Kittle or Kincaid to come around, and they both got picked right before it got back to me. So
I think Kittle going in the 5th is greasy. Like, I mean, he's still George Kittle. He's easily a top 3 tight end in the league, and for some reason he's going 7th or 8th all the time. So I think Amir Frank he's looking pretty good on the back end for sure.
Don't get him all cocky.
He's
already commenting somewhere, talking smack.
I was gonna say he's not as good as the no sleep team. No, he's good, but I don't think he's as good as the no sleep team. If it's going to be the Kittle and Pitts battle to determine who I think is the better of the two in that row there. Most too good. Nice of you to join us as the drafts ended. Amazing. Thank you for showing up, and hope you enjoy the roster. I saved your life. Please send donations to bushleaguemedia.com, and we'll accept anything for giving you a startable roster.
So HT was the champion of the Sassy League last year. Took me out in the playoffs. How's his roster looking?
John Robinson, Kyrie Williams, that could be an absolute filthy stack out the gate. Diggs, again, I've been taking Diggs as the number 1 guy in Houston. Trey McBride, I'm not that big on him, but everybody seems to love him. Then you got Kenneth Walker, and then you're going Keenan Allen, Xavier Worthy. So wide receiver depends. Like, it depends if Caleb Williams can step up to the plate and actually feed Keenan Allen like we hope. Keenan Allen's obviously had great stats the last many years, 1,000-yard receiver over and over again. Pretty good roster, but I just I feel like I would like a better wide receiver there. But again, if Xavier Worthy does what the Chiefs hope he does, and again, it's crazy to see Buffalo pass on him, give him basically to their biggest rival, the Chiefs, when they passed on Mahomes and gave Mahomes to their biggest rival in the Chiefs. So if Xavier Worthy ends up doing better than Keon Coleman, I mean, there's going to be heads in the Buffalo front office, I think. I kind of get why they would have moved back picks, because you take Keon in the 2nd round, they're pretty tied up against the wall with their budget. I know I said that in the other draft. But so they get him a lot cheaper, take him in the 2nd round. But Xavier Worthy, I think, is like the fastest prospect, aside from like Tyreek Hill, to enter the NFL or something. So like, give that to Mahomes. That's smart. When they've beat you every year in the playoffs.
Sure. Dude, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. We're here. It's the season.
Crypto.
Yeah, good.
That team could use a little better running backness, because Montgomery, he'll be good, but obviously he's splitting it with Gibbs, but he was a every week starter last year. Javonte Williams, my guy in Denver, I think that he will be good. So not a bad 2 there, but I mean, really doesn't have a 3rd. So he's got to hope he stays healthy throughout the season. But there's quite a few guys that going to need to hope they stay healthy. Most too good. He's going to be starting Charbonnet and Dobbins. So hopefully they do good. Otherwise, he's got Chubb there. But if I was most too good, I would be probably trying to get rid of someone like Allen or Jackson, trying to find somebody who might be interested in one of those guys. Maybe the Andrews owners got Hurts. Maybe Mir Frank might be looking to trade away Murray. I don't know. Or perhaps Sleep is looking to upgrade. But I think your team's stacked. I wouldn't touch it. But he's going to have to move one of these quarterbacks, and probably take a bit of a loss to get someone decent in his roster. Hopefully someone will give him like their 3rd or 4th pick or something and make a move on that. But make a good trade for a quarterback, get a running back, and that'll be a roster that can play week to week.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, so I'm Sleeper. We're going to have to look into this on the back end, see if that auto draft is coming from you guys, or if these guys are setting wild cues, or what's going on. But we can't be having it give everybody 100 defenses in the 3rd and 4th and 5th round. That's the 2nd draft I've seen that.
Okay, so you've seen it before. Okay, so this wasn't.
Well, but again, did that person set their cue? I don't know. So it's
and to think of it, they probably did, but again, they didn't. I'm guessing they didn't know how to set it, and it's all an education thing. And
in my league, the returning champ Melly, she actually won the Bushleague League 2 years in a row, and she ended up with the Cowboys in the 3rd round.
It hurts. It hurts.
Absolutely hurts.
Jacoby, where are you at right now, man?
What do you mean, where am I at?
Are you in the house? Are you in the garage? I thought you worked out the garage for some reason.
This is my office. That's in the garage.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, a garage in the
It's
office.
a garage office.
Yeah. Can we pull the boys up closer? Oh, there we go. Look at us.
Which way
Oh,
do we gotta
wow,
go?
look at that.
Hey, look at us. We're just all
Good.
making stuff.
Yeah.
But no, thank you, boys, for joining. I appreciate it. Pro sleep, no sleep. Love to see it. We're gonna have a good season this year. I think, like I said, I think the rule change this year will be beneficial. I think it's going to keep things a little more even than it has been in the past. If I switch you guys, does the stuff show better? Oh, it does kind of.
Do you know the rules change is actually going to help us while we get through the challenges of early season with some new players playing this game, right? Because it's all head to head, right? So we can have a couple bad games and then pick it up, make the playoffs, and all bets are off in the playoffs. So hopefully we can get some teams dialed in and keep winning.
And I know you're talking like the inter-community wins, losses, but it's even a reflection of it. Melly, who I said won the league, her first year she lost 6 weeks straight, 0-6, had 7 straight wins, made the playoffs, and ended up winning the league. So I mean,
were you
0-6 and ended up winning the league? I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Were you running the median scoring at that time?
Yes, I'm pretty sure. I've been running it for quite a few years. And so I do have median scoring on in each league this year. We're not going to do a median between communities, but to me, it makes an extra lot of sense to have it on because you want to set the highest scoring rosters. That's going to help your community the most. So I think it's even more beneficial to get that win for having it. And I've always, some people are like, oh, you get what you get, but it's just like, you can't play defense in fantasy. And I think the people that set the best lineups should be rewarded personally. So I've really enjoyed having that league median scoring active on all my leagues the last few years.
Question for you, man. Totally unrelated to this fantasy hockey question. Real quick. Where do you take Connor Bedard?
Where do I, you know what? I haven't done.
What round would you take?
I haven't really done any drafts so far. I haven't mocked anything, but I mean, if you're just doing a standard draft, Bedard's probably looking like a second round guy, maybe a third round guy. I don't think you're taking him ahead of like Leon or Connor or Cooch or Marchand or Landeskog's coming back this year, McKinnon, etc. But I think you might find Bedard, like he put up points. He's a stud. I think he's an early second rounder personally.
Yeah. So I was listening to some fantasy hockey talk today, and it was specifically Bedard and where he goes. The guy's going to be a first rounder for the rest of his life, starting next year, potentially. And this year, they're all predicting him at the same second round. So I just wanted to hear your take on it.
Yeah, no, I think early second is kind of the range for him myself personally. That's where I think he'll be going.
Dude, I'm excited to get in on some fantasy hockey. Obviously, I'm excited for fantasy football this year, and we're going to have a good year, man. We're going to have a good year. Good more.
We'll tune in every week. Obviously, me and you will start getting people dialed in a little more on fantasy hockey as that comes. We'll get everybody kind of dialed in on lineups. I think we've been talking probably Sunday nights we're going to be recording, so we'll be able to give everybody some tips Monday morning for the fantasy hockey lineup for the week. We'll kind of, one thing I've always dialed in on is man games too, so I will usually be advising people on guys that might have 4 or 5 games in a week as opposed to guys that have 2-3 games. And then we'll be able to kind of dial everybody in on who they should be plugging into the lineup Monday to get that fantasy win. And I'll look forward to the next week. So I think people can expect to see a show dropping from us on Monday mornings throughout the season. And I look forward to it. As always, I've enjoyed doing the show with you the last year. And I like the little back and forth. Sometimes I'm like, oh shit, is he actually mad at me? But man, you just play a good character. We're supposed to lip each other off on the show. And sometimes I'm like, oh shit, he's like actually mad. And then you're like, no, like fuck, what do you mean? That's what we're supposed to do. We're talking fantasy. So I love it. And we'll keep it rolling and have a good old time with it.
Dude, I'm loving all the extra little bits you got going on this page here. You got the football in the lower right-hand corner. You got the Bushleague QR up there, man. It's pretty cool.
You got to keep those young attention spans active. You just let some random crap scroll across the bottom and a couple little picture here. Maybe we click around, change some stuff, put a skateboard there. You never know what's going on, but we got to keep these youth attention spans chewed in because I don't know, maybe we're boring them to death. So at least if we can get a little imagery in, that'll keep the people going. And thank you guys for sharing out the stream. got 120 people tuned in, so I appreciate that. And hopefully some people learned a few things and got dialed in for that. And anytime, feel free to reach out to me at No Sleep on Twitter. Anytime, we'll answer any fantasy questions you have. And I'm sure there'll be the odd Twitter space rolling too here and there throughout the season when we can. And we'll see how it shakes out. I know it's hard to commit to mornings because I'm working quite a bit again, and I know you are as well. So that's why we'll probably do a Sunday evening record, put the show out, and maybe once in a while we'll pop in with a nice Twitter space for the folks. And again, Jacoby with the beautiful, which way? No, this way, with the beautiful Pit Vipers. Check out Pitties, check out Shredding Sassy Social Club and all they got going on. Always doing all kinds of events and different activations in the action sports community, and get yourself 20% off a pair of Pitties, baby.
Love them. Maybe some of the little pair too in the Shredding Sassy League this year. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. I got them right here.
Ooh, let's see.
What you got for us.
Second place, going to take home a pair of Pit Vipers in the Sassy League.
Where are we at here?
We got two light. Oh, Pit Viper 2000. I don't know where mine are. Mine right here? No, mine are in my.
I know I'm wearing Pit Viper 2000.
I didn't realize they were here the whole time. They're right beside me. I even got the string on mine. I'm a string kind of guy. I'm getting old. I might lose them.
Me too. My daughter gets so mad. I gave the pair I have to her, and she had to take the string off. The first thing she did, took it off, flung it to the side. I'm like, "What are you doing? How are you gonna play volleyball in them? Like, what's happening?"
I mean, you got to be able to drop the string. Without the string, what's the point?
Yeah.
Man, we look good. Wow.
Just gotta throw them up and over.
Yeah, but I'm too wild. I'm always doing wild shit. It doesn't stay on my head if I do the flip up and over. I have to lock them in. The only thing is this ponytail. This thing's wrapped. It already is. It's halfway wrapped around. I don't even know how to get it out of there. So it's not going anywhere no matter how much I try. I'll be picking that thing out of my hair for the next 15 minutes after the show.
Love it.
Well, cool. I appreciate you guys. And it's fun. And I look forward to it. Like I said, we'll push an update probably about a week from now on the website. Everybody will be able to go over there, see the weekly matchups, see the high scores, what they need to do to be eligible for it. And I really look forward to having some fun with you guys this year. It's going to be a good time. So thank you for joining. And thank you guys for locking in the community, having it all organized. I basically didn't have to do anything with the Shredding Sassy community, which makes my life easy trying to set everything up. So really appreciate it. And you guys are doing a great job over there.
Love it, man. Happy to be here. Thank you very much for hosting this for us. And, see you back here next week talking some fantasy football. I'm stoked.
Yeah, and maybe we'll catch you guys. Well, not maybe. We'll try to catch you guys Aloha Friday at the Sassy Summit. Everybody, obviously, go check out. They're always doing Twitter Spaces on X, so tune into the boys. And don't forget about Trav's show, Thrash Talk. I want to say Trash Talk. Thrash Talk. You guys have been pumping out some pretty entertaining episodes as of late. So make sure you guys go follow that show and keep up with what they got going on in the action sports world.
Yeah, thanks, man. We got a dope one dropping here on Wednesday at 3:30 Eastern time. We're going to be on with Keith Gable and Evan Strong. Yeah, stoked. Great episode. Both para snowboarders, tackling this upcoming para season. So stoked for them.
Love it. Well, you gentlemen have a good one. We'll catch you guys in a couple weeks here. We'll see you in the fantasy turf, baby.
Later, man. Have a good one, guys. See you.
Later.
You.
I don't know if you have to say bye.
Bye.
Cool. Thank you guys as always for tuning in. Appreciate it. It's a fun draft with the homies over at Shredding Sassy. Always check out the Sleeper app. It's my favorite app to draft fantasy leagues on. And until next time, stay Bushleague, you beauties. Oh, I didn't have the thing lined up on time. Haha. Okay.
From the bottom, ain't no half-stepping. I'm the dog, I made it through so they don't ask questions. Long Beach, and it ain't no half-repping. Once a dog, always a dog, so they don't ask questions. From the bottom, ain't no half-stepping. I'm the dog, I made it through so they don't ask questions. Long Beach, and it ain't no half-repping. Once a dog, always a dog, so they don't ask questions. Tell them never question, dog, I'm sitting ghost status. Eating chicken with my jeans, smoking on some cabbage. Used to pedal on this
moment where you skate down the street and some shit for brains yells out of his window. Do a kickflip! Do a kickflip! Do a kickflip!
Rags and house shoes, they know how the dog do. Skinny, heavy pockets, the West OG. Came across the globe, say they don't know me. Been applying pressure from 8 to 24 like Kobe. Mr. Hall of Fame used to bend the corners with strollies. Had to lay the blueprint, they rolled out the carpet. Anything I wanna own, I got my own market. Blew this, blew that, everything beautiful. Still ain't sold my guns and I still ain't had to use them though. Was once a hard head, now I'm counting blessings. I made my own way, still they don't ask questions. From the bottom, ain't no half stepping. I'm the dog, I made it through so they don't ask questions. Long Beach and it ain't no half repping. Once a dog, always a dog, so they don't ask questions.
This is some straight, hey.
This is, oh gosh.
I got thin to smoke it.
Once a dog, always a dog, so they don't ask questions. I can't name a thing that I didn't have step. From the streets and movie screens, been getting bags and checks. Get the solid, you won't hear me with no bad rep. Legendary Crippin' made it happen, and that's on the set. Still rolling on gold things, I'm a boss. Go get it, what the fuck you waiting on, man? Let's go.
Blaming on my mom from all the crippin' I see. Blaming on my grandpa, all the hustling.
Yes, sir.